USCIS just introduced a new naturalization civics test for 2025, and it affects anyone filing their application on or after October 20th, 2025. The question bank is larger now, with 128 questions. But the rules to pass haven't changed. You'll still be asked up to 20 questions orally during your interview, and you only need to get 12 right to pass. And just like before, the test ends early if you hit 12 correct answers or 9 wrong ones. This video is made to help you pass your citizenship test on your first attempt. We've organised everything so it's super easy to remember.
What is the form of government of the United States? Republic. Republic. What is the supreme law of the land? The U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution. Name one thing the U.S. Constitution does. Forms the government. Forms the government. The U.S. Constitution starts with the words, "We the people." What does "we the people" mean? Self-government. Self-government. How are changes made to the U.S. Constitution? Amendments. Amendments. What does the Bill of Rights protect? The basic rights of Americans. The basic rights of Americans. How many amendments does the U.S. Constitution have? 27. 27. Why is the Declaration of Independence important? It says, America is free from British control. It says, America is free from British control. What founding document said the American colonies were free from Britain? Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. Name two important ideas from the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. 1. Equality, and 2. Liberty. 1. Equality, and 2. Liberty. The words life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are in what founding document? Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. What is the economic system of the United States? Capitalism. Capitalism. What is the rule of law? No one is above the law. No one is above the law. Many documents influence the U.S. Constitution. Name one. Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. There are 3 branches of government. Why? Checks and balances. Checks and balances. Name the 3 branches of government. Legislative, executive, and judicial. Legislative, executive, and judicial. The President of the United States is in charge of which branch of government? Executive branch. Executive branch. What part of the federal government writes laws? U.S. Congress. U.S. Congress. What are the 2 parts of the U.S. Congress? Senate and House of Representatives. Senate and House of Representatives. Name one power of the U.S. Congress. Writes laws. Writes laws. How many U.S. senators are there? 100. 100. How long is a term for a U.S. senator? 6 years. 6 years. Who is one of your state's U.S. senators now? For this question, the answers will vary. District of Columbia residents and residents of U.S. territories should answer that D.C., or the territory where the applicant lives, has no U.S. senators. However, I live in New Jersey. One of the senators for New Jersey State is Cory Booker. Kindly research for the name of the current senators for your state. How many voting members are in the House of Representatives? 435. 435. How long is a term for a member of the House of Representatives? 2 years. 2 years. Why do US representatives serve shorter terms than US senators? To more closely follow public opinion. To more closely follow public opinion. How many senators does each state have? 2. 2. Why does each state have 2 senators? Equal representation for small states. Equal representation for small states. Name your US representative. Answers will vary. Residents of territories with non-voting delegates or resident commissioners may provide the name of that delegate or commissioner. Also acceptable is any statement that the territory has no voting representatives in Congress. Kindly do your research to know who is your representative. What is the name of the Speaker of the House of Representatives now? Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson. Who does a US Senator represent? Citizens of their state. Citizens of their state. Who elects US Senators? Citizens from their state. Citizens from their state. Who does a member of the House of Representatives represent? Citizens in their district. Citizens in their district. Who elects members of the House of Representatives? Citizens from their congressional district. Citizens from their congressional district. Some states have more representatives than other states. Why? Because they have more people. Because they have more people. The President of the United States is elected for how many years? 4 years. 4 years. The President of the United States can serve only 2 terms. Why? Because of the 22nd Amendment. Because of the 22nd Amendment. What is the name of the President of the United States now? Donald Trump. Donald Trump. What is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance. If the President can no longer serve, who becomes President? The Vice President of the United States. The Vice President of the United States. Name one power of the President. Signs bills into law. Signs bills into law. Who is Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military? The President of the United States. The President of the United States. Who signs bills to become laws? The President of the United States. The President of the United States. Who vetoes bills? The President of the United States. The President of the United States. Who appoints federal judges? The President of the United States. Who appoints federal judges? The executive branch has many parts. Name one. The President of the United States. The President of the United States. What does the President's cabinet do? Advises the President of the United States. Advises the President of the United States. What are 2 cabinet-level positions? Secretary of State and Secretary of War. Secretary of State and Secretary of War. Why is the Electoral College important? It decides who is elected president. It decides who is elected president. What is one part of the judicial branch? Supreme Court. Supreme Court. What does the judicial branch do? Reviews laws. Reviews laws. What is the highest court in the United States? Supreme Court. Supreme Court. How many seats are on the Supreme Court? 9. 9. How many Supreme Court justices are usually needed to decide a case? 5. 5. How long do Supreme Court justices serve? For life. For life. Supreme Court justices serve for life. Why? To be independent of politics. To be independent of politics. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts. John Roberts. Name one power that is only for the federal government. Print paper money. Print paper money. Name one power that is only for the states. Give a driver's license. Give a driver's license. What is the purpose of the 10th Amendment? It states that the powers not given to the federal government belong to the states or to the people. It states that the powers not given to the federal government belong to the states or to the people. Who is the governor of your state now? For this question, the answer will vary. Kindly confirm your current governor. District of Columbia residents should answer that DC does not have a governor. What is the capital of your state? Answers will vary. District of Columbia residents should answer that DC is not a state and does not have a capital. Residents of U.S. territories should name the capital of the territory. There are 4 amendments to the U.S. Constitution about who can vote. Describe one of them. Citizens 18 and older can vote. Citizens 18 and older can vote. Who can vote in federal elections, run for federal office, and serve on a jury in the United States? U.S. citizens. U.S. citizens. What are 3 rights of everyone living in the United States? Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and freedom of religion. What do we show loyalty to when we say the Pledge of Allegiance? The United States. The United States. Name 2 promises that new citizens make in the Oath of Allegiance. Defend the U.S. Constitution and be loyal to the United States. Defend the U.S. Constitution and be loyal to the United States. How can people become United States citizens? 1. Be born in the United States under the conditions set by the 14th Amendment. 2. Naturalize. And 3. Derive citizenship under conditions set by Congress. 1. Be born in the United States under the conditions set by the 14th Amendment. 2. Naturalize. And 3. Derive citizenship under conditions set by Congress. What are 2 examples of civic participation in the United States? Vote and run for office. Vote and run for office. What is one way Americans can serve their country? Vote. Vote. Why is it important to pay federal taxes? Required by law. Required by law. It is important for all men aged 18 through 25 to register for the Selective Service. Name one reason why. Civic duty. Civic duty. The colonists came to America for many reasons. Name one. Freedom. Freedom. Who lived in America before the Europeans arrived? Native Americans. Native Americans. What group of people was taken and sold as slaves? Africans. Africans. What war did the Americans fight to win independence from Britain? American Revolution. American Revolution. Name one reason why the Americans declared independence from Britain. High taxes. High taxes. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4th, 1776. July 4th, 1776. The American Revolution had many important events. Name one. Declaration of Independence. Declaration of Independence. There were 13 original states. Name 5. New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, and South Carolina. New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina, and South Carolina. What founding document was written in 1787? U.S. Constitution. U.S. Constitution. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of the writers. John Jay. John Jay. Why were the Federalist Papers important? They supported passing the U.S. Constitution. They supported passing the U.S. Constitution. Benjamin Franklin is famous for many things. Name one. U.S. diplomat. U.S. diplomat. George Washington is famous for many things. Name one. First President of the United States. First President of the United States. Thomas Jefferson is famous for many things. Name one. Writer of the Declaration of Independence. Writer of the Declaration of Independence. James Madison is famous for many things. Name one. Father of the Constitution. Father of the Constitution. Alexander Hamilton is famous for many things. Name one. One of the writers of the Federalist Papers. One of the writers of the Federalist Papers. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Louisiana. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Civil War. Civil War. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. The Civil War. The Civil War. The Civil War had many important events. Name one. Lincoln was assassinated. Lincoln was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln is famous for many things. Name one. Freed the slaves. Freed the slaves. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Freed the slaves. Freed the slaves. What U.S. war ended slavery? The Civil War. The Civil War. What amendment says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are U.S. citizens? 14th Amendment. 14th Amendment. When did all men get the right to vote? After the Civil War. After the Civil War. Name one leader of the women's rights movement in the 1800s. Susan B. Anthony. Susan B. Anthony. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I. World War I. Why did the United States enter World War I? Because Germany attacked U.S. civilian ships. Because Germany attacked U.S. civilian ships. When did all women get the right to vote? After World War I. After World War I. What was the Great Depression? Longest economic recession in modern history. Longest economic recession in modern history. When did the Great Depression start? During the stock market crash of 1929. During the stock market crash of 1929. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Franklin Roosevelt. Franklin Roosevelt. Why did the United States enter World War II? Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor. Dwight Eisenhower is famous for many things. Name one. General during World War II. General during World War II. Who was the United States' main rival during the Cold War? Russia. Russia. During the Cold War, what was one main concern of the United States? Nuclear war. Nuclear war. Why did the United States enter the Korean War? To stop the spread of communism. To stop the spread of communism. Why did the United States enter the Vietnam War? To stop the spread of communism. To stop the spread of communism. What did the civil rights movement do? Fought to end racial discrimination. Fought to end racial discrimination. Martin Luther King Jr. is famous for many things. Name one. Fought for civil rights. Fought for civil rights. Why did the United States enter the Persian Gulf War? To force the Iraqi military from Kuwait. To force the Iraqi military from Kuwait. What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Terrorists attacked the United States. Name one US military conflict after the September 11th, 2001 attacks. War in Iraq. War in Iraq. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Blackfeet. Blackfeet. Name one example of an American innovation. Airplane. Airplane. What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York Harbor. New York Harbor. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies. Because there were 13 original colonies. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there are 50 states. Because there are 50 states. What is the name of the national anthem? The Star-Spangled Banner. The Star-Spangled Banner. The nation's first motto was E pluribus unum. What does that mean? We all become one. We all become one. What is Independence Day? A holiday to celebrate US independence from Britain. A holiday to celebrate US independence from Britain. Name 3 national US holidays. New Year's, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. New Year's, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. What is Memorial Day? A holiday to honor soldiers who died in military service. A holiday to honor soldiers who died in military service. What is Veterans Day? A holiday to honor people who have served in the US military. A holiday to honor people who have served in the US military.